Hello everyone, welcome back to Key Comics Market Watch. I'm happy to have y'all back for another haul video. But before we get started, as always, make sure you subscribe, you hit the bell so you be notified all times. And if you like the video, make sure you hit the like button. Alright everybody, so let's get started. So I went to the LCS. I mainly went there to get some backboards and some bags. And this particular LCS, I stopped spending my money in there because they have a tendency to want to raise the prices on their new releases on Wednesday when they come out. Like, it could be just a regular cover book, not even a variant. It could just be a regular cover book. And if they know that book is already hot and it comes out that Wednesday, they'll actually mark the price up that Wednesday. So it's like, just because it's hot on eBay already. So I'm like, that's kind of crazy that you would mark it up on the day of release of a regular cover. To me, I just don't. I found that kind of like insulting because I feel like comic book stores should not be doing stuff like that. Now, if it's a variant, I can understand. If it's like a 1 in 10, a 1 in 25, 1 in 50, 1 in 100, but we talk about just the regular cover, I can't get with that. So I just, and they did it a couple of times, and after they did it on this one book that I wanted, and it just came out that day, and it was a regular cover, and when I saw it was marked up to $15, and I said something to them about it, they literally was just like, well, that's what the market is asking for. And I was like, yeah, but eBay is not the market. That you shouldn't be going off of that, because you're gonna kind of offend a lot of your regulars by doing stuff like that. And they just act like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess I won't be spending my hard-earned money in here no more. So I kind of like took about a 4-month halt from there, where I wasn't buying no books. And this is one of the LCSs where I get a lot of my more valuable books. Like, I'll spend hundreds, sometimes a couple of thousand in there sometimes. So I was kind of like, okay, well, I guess I just won't be spending money in there no more. And I stopped, and I have to tell you, I'll still go in there to get. One thing I could say about them, though, is that out of all the LCSs I go to, when it comes to bags and boards and short boxes and long boxes and magazine boxes, to hold, basically the comic book supplies there are the cheapest around. So I still had to, I couldn't just completely cut myself off from the store, because I knew that that's the only place I could get my supplies for cheap. So I still was going in there just for that. And I know they probably noticed that I was just coming in there just for that, and I wasn't like buying no more books. I just felt on my principle. I felt like I'm not going to keep spending money with y'all if y'all gonna keep doing that, stuff that I feel y'all shouldn't be doing. So still getting my supplies, but I actually recently went in there to get my supplies, like I said, and I decided just to see what they had, if they had what new stuff they had. And I kind of broke down, and I actually spent some money with them, and I feel kind of bad about it now, but I really wanted these books, and these books are, well, one of the books. I really wanted one of the books. Just so happens that it was another book there, and I liked the price and the condition. And then there was also a recent book that came out in the second print that I wanted. And so I was just like, man, so kind of broke down, bought the books, and I was just like, man, I felt kind of bad, but at the same time, I really wanted the books. So I was like, dilemma. So let's just get this thing started. I'm gonna try to stay away and not spend no more money with them, but I really wanted this book because of the condition. But I'm gonna start off with all the free stuff I got first, because they still had a lot of free comic book day stuff, which I didn't get a chance to get because I was in Florida visiting my mom with my daughter on the day of free comic book day, and I could have went to the comic book stores out there and got some stuff, but bringing them back on the plane was just, in my mind, they were gonna get damaged. There was no way. I didn't have nothing to protect them, and I knew they was gonna get damaged. So there was no point. And you know how I am about condition, you guys. So I'm gonna start off with the free stuff. So I did pick up some preview, DC preview. So it's DC Connects. So I got 2 of these. I think this is the most recent one, and then I got one of, I think this was from last month or not, I don't know, but they were all there, so I was like, let me pick them up, and I haven't had a chance to look through them. You know what it is with previews. In the future, it might have a first appearance in there already, and of a character that's gonna be famous later, so who knows. All right, so then I got Star Wars The High Republic Adventures for free comic book day, and I got 2 of those, or 3 of those. So picked up 3 of those. Alright. Then I picked up Assassin's Creed Dynasty and Assassin's Creed Valhalla for free comic book day. Alright. Then I picked up Sonic the Hedgehog 30th anniversary free comic book day. Alright. Then I picked up Star Wars The High Republic The Edge of Balance free comic book day. And I got 3 of them. So it's 3 in total. Alright. Really missed out on those when they came out, so happy I was able to get that. Free comic book day, Vampirella. Love Vampirella. Alright. Then I got the Judge Dredd free comic book day. And I got 2 of those. Alright. I got Lady Machina free comic book day. Got 1 of those, and I got 1 of the King Shark Suicide Squad free comic book day. I know there was some variants to that, but I wasn't able to get it. All right. Now the 3 books that I wanted. All right, so we're gonna start off with the second print, which is Moon Knight #1 second print, and it's exactly the same cover as the first print, but the first print is in blue and the second print is in this yellow. So, and I love this cover, so I was like, yeah, let me grab that second print. All right, the other book that I got is actually a magazine size, and it's Marvel Previews #1. And this is a Neil Adams cover. That's who it is. A Neil Adams cover, and it's an issue 1 of Marvel Preview. So I was like, let me get this, and it's in great condition. It does need a pressing, which with magazines I don't know how. Yeah. So yeah, but it definitely needs a pressing. It doesn't. It has it doesn't have no spine ticks that break color, but it definitely needs a pressing. Like, but it looks great. Like let me show you the back for a second. And it was only $9, you guys, $9.99, by the way. So that's why I grabbed it. I was like, oh, for that price, I got to grab that. So let me see See if I can show y'all the back. The back looks nice and white, so very happy with the condition of it. And for $9.99, I was like, I got to take that. So, like I said, I succumbed to just me being in there, and I so many times I kept walking in there, getting my supplies. I'll see new stuff, and I'll be like, nah, I'm gonna walk out. And I walked out and held my ground. But this time I saw too much stuff that I was just like, oh. And there was stuff there that I actually really, really wanted. But once I saw this other book right here, I was like, nah, I need to grab this now because number one, it's in great condition. And number two, this is a character that a lot of people aren't even thinking about right now. And I can understand why, because they're under, nobody's even specking on this character, which I'm like, that's even better for me because I'm able to get the book for cheap. And when the character finally do show up, which I think they will in the MCU in something, this book is gonna blow up. So it's X-Men number 11, first appearance of the Stranger, which is that guy right there, and they wanted $225, but I talked them down to $200. So that's why I had to get it. Once they said yeah to $200, I was just like, okay, well, let me grab this book real quick and go about my business. So yeah, I'm very happy with this condition of this book. Definitely, I would say this is about an 8.0, but I'm very happy with it. The back of it looks great. I mean, so yeah, very happy about that. The Stranger is definitely a character that nobody's talking about right now, and he's a cosmic player. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm just like, okay, well, nobody wants to talk about it. But all the X-Men comics with any first appearances have been blowing up. So all of them been blowing up, but this is the one of that has not blown up. So I'm like, okay, well, hopefully I could get me a graded copy already slabbed before the prices really start going crazy. Like 7.0s and 8.0s right now you can still get for under $700. So definitely I'm thinking about trying to get me one soon because I really feel this character right here has been around for so long. He's been in a lot of stuff, so it's not like it's a one and done character. So, and I mean, this is early Silver Age X-Men, you know what I'm saying? Like issue number 11. So yeah, very happy about that. And that's it, you guys. That was the haul. And like I said, I'm regretting even spending my money up in that junk, so I'm gonna try to stay away from that junk again. But I had to have that book. I just broke down. I was just like, oh, I'm giving these people my money. And I said I wasn't. Even though I do get my money with the comic supplies, but that's not nothing compared to the money I was spending in there on a regular. Like I was going up in there every week, spending at least a couple $100 every week at least. So for me not to be up in there on a regular, I held my ground, but I needed some bagging boards and once I saw what was on the wall and I started seeing everything, I was like, ugh. And there's another particular book they had in there that I was gonna grab too, but I was like, nah, let me not, be spending the type of money I used to spend up in here. I mean, just buying these books alone kind of like, really I was tugging in my mind like, dang, I really don't want to spend money up in here because they really have no principles up in this place. Like they just don't care about, the regular customer. They just out for the money. And I understand you're a business, but at the same time, you don't do that to your regulars. Now on no new release day. Now I can understand if the book been out for like a week and nobody bought it and the price is up and you didn't mark it up, but you go mark it up on the same day of release of a regular cover. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like, and I hope other comic book stores don't start doing the same thing, because that will really make me not ever want to buy new releases ever. So, but enough about the ranting. Hope everybody's been doing alright. This is my second video within a week, so I'm back. I actually got my setup done now. Good. Everything's back to normal. I'm back in a good space, and not only that, I have time now. Like, I was really doing a lot. I was just everywhere, not being able to make videos like I want to. But I'm happy to be back, you guys. The comic book market is strong still. We had a little bit of a pullback in the market, but as far as comics, you know, the highs that they were reaching on a lot of books have come down some. But overall, the market is still hot. Like, it's still a hot market. Definitely with books that people are specking on, and not only that, just books that people want as grails. Those books are just holding up their value. So, you know, the market is hot. So I tell people all the time, you know, you need to be trying to go after the books that nobody's thinking about right now, while they're still cheap, because chasing the books that's already hot is you're gonna be paying top dollar, and why would you want to pay top dollar? That's no bueno. You know what I'm saying? So it's always better to go after the books that's not hot right now, and when they get hot, if you want to sell and make your money, you can. I mean, I've done that with plenty of books where I've just bought them real early because I knew nobody was thinking about nothing, and as soon as it popped, I give you a prime example. I had bought in 2017, towards the end of 2017, I decided to buy, what is it, Avengers 180 something? I forgot the exact number, but it's the origin issue with the origin issue of Scarlet Witch, and it's the first appearance of her mother. And it is the first appearance of, what is it? So, what's the guy's name? He's the guy that made the Darkhold. Cyrac, not Cyrac. What's the guy's name? It's one of them evil dudes. He's like a demon, but he made the Darkhold. I forgot his name, but on the cover, she's like upside down, and Scarlet Witch is upside down like this, and Mord the magician appears in the book, and he's like levitating over top of her, like he doing something like. But the cover, put it like this. The long story short, I bought that book in a CGC 9.8 from Comic Link in 2017, when I knew nobody was thinking about, you know, that book. Nobody. And I bought that book for $87. 9.8 white pages. Like, nobody was thinking. I held it, even though I had to hold it for 4 years, which I didn't mind because I got so much stuff. I mean, it's crazy. I don't mind holding, especially when you get the type of returns that you can get in the long run. And let me tell you, I sent that book to Comic Link last month, and it sold for $1,320, and I bought it for $80 something. So I mean, I'm just like, you know, that type of return is just great. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by, you know, look at the characters nobody thinking about. Like, really look at the characters nobody thinking about, and get them now while they cheap. I mean, I did the same thing with Rogue. I bought a 9.8 CGC 9.8 of the first appearance of Rogue in the Avengers Annual number 10. I bought a 9.8 and a 9.6. I paid 160 something for the 9.8 at the time, and I paid like 87 for the 9.6, and that book shot up to 1,300 in the 9.8. 9.6s are like at 7. So that's, you gotta get them while nobody's thinking about it. Like right now would be the perfect time. I tell people all the time, right now would be the perfect time for you to buy characters like Wonder Man, characters like first appearance of Count Nefaria, because he's a villain that he's been in a lot of stuff. In fact, at one point in an Avengers story, he had powers that he basically beat all the Avengers by himself. Like he had like Superman powers. Like he was able to beat everyone. So he's been, a villain that nobody's really thinking about right now. And I'm telling you, you should be trying to get that first appearance. I think it's Avengers number 13 or something like that, where his first appearance. So characters like that, that nobody is thinking about, those are the characters. First appearance of Power Man. He winds up later being Atlas and Goliath at one point, but he winds up being a key member of the Thunderbolts, the first version of the Thunderbolts. So that's why them type of characters are the type of characters I go after. The first appearance of Blizzard. You know what I'm saying? Like people like that. First appearance of Melter. Characters that nobody right now is talking about. Nobody. So, those are the characters that I'm trying to get right now because they're still cheap. 9.8s are still cheap of these characters. High grade of these characters are cheap. So, always go after stuff that nobody's thinking about right now. So that way, later on when they get hot, you ain't got to be paying this crazy money. Instead, you could sell it and make crazy money. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do. Or you can just keep it and enjoy the fact that you got a very valuable book now. You know what I'm saying? So that's my suggestion. I did the same thing with the Miles Morales first appearance. Like I was buying it when when it was still like $15-$20. I was buying that book, and I still have that book, and that's one book that I know I'm not going to sell, because I think when it comes to that book is just going to keep going. Like that's a character that is just, the sky is the limit with that. It's just going to keep going. So certain characters you could just keep, because it's just going to keep doing this. So I definitely suggest, look at the characters nobody's thinking about. Those are the books you need to go after now. Even if it takes a couple of years before you make good money, but you're going to make good money. Like, really, you are. So, just let me tell you, I'll give you another example. I was buying a lot of books from Comic Link, like in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. I was just buying a rack of stuff that, like I said, nobody was thinking about this stuff. And let me tell you, a lot of that stuff, I would say at least half of it, I wound up putting on Comic Link in May. And May, June, July, and August, they were selling. And let me tell you, my returns were crazy. Like, it was crazy, my returns on those books that I bought back then, because none of those characters were thought about back then. But now, those characters are hot. And so I decided to finally sell. And the other half of the books that I bought back then that I still have, I'm waiting. Like, I still, like, a couple of them I could have sold, like the first Alpha Flight number 1. I got that in a 9.8. I bought that for like $70, and right now it's going for like $400 or $500. So I could have already put that on there, but I'm like, I think that book's gonna go even higher because there's nothing even talked about Alpha Flight yet, like as far as anything. You know what I'm saying? So I think once something get put in, that book is gonna fly because not only is it the first book of the series, but it also has 2 first appearances of Puck and Maria. So, yeah, and Puck is a character that's been in the, in the Marvel lore for a long time. So, but that's just an example I'm giving y'all. Like I have books that I'm just waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's always best to do that. Get the characters nobody thinking about. I talked about Long Shot #1 last year. That was like one of the books that I suggested, and lo and behold, man, the 9.8 starts selling for $600, and you could have got it for like $150 when I was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? So last year. So that's just an examples. Like I go after the characters nobody's thinking about. That's the best thing to do right now, and go after covers that nobody's really paying a lot of money for that are awesome covers, because that's another thing. Some awesome covers, that it takes time before they shoot up. Sometimes it takes a while for the market to catch up and realize that this is an awesome damn cover and everybody all of a sudden wants it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it takes a while. So and I've seen that happen with a couple of books where I'm just like, oh man, I can't believe that book going for that now because of the cover. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when nobody was thinking about that book, and now it's crazy. So yeah, that's what I suggest you guys. You know, my channel is about the market, of course, and I don't talk enough about the market like I should because I don't be making enough videos. But I keep my eye on the market at all times. Even when I'm not making videos, I just want y'all to know that I do be keeping my eye on the market. I'm constantly looking at eBay. I'm looking at Comic Link. I'm looking at Heritage. I'm just keeping up with what's going on because the market is, I love it. It reminds me of the stock market. You know what I'm saying? The comic book market and the stock market to me are like go hand in hand almost, because it's amazing to see, you know, what goes up, what goes down, and you know, it's all about, sometimes about hype, sometimes about speculation, sometimes just, you know, some books just finally go up because they should have been gone up, but they just takes time sometimes. So it reminds me of stocks. Stocks are the same way, and I love stock. The stock market is my passion, and comic books are my passion. So both of them being almost the same is something that I love. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I keep up with both of them, and I just need y'all to really hear me out, and don't get FOMO, okay? Instead of getting FOMO, what you need to be doing right now is going after the books nobody's thinking about, after the characters nobody's thinking about. I'm telling you, do this, and you'll be happy when it blows up, because you're gonna be having the books that's gonna make you some good money, like really good money. So that's my suggestion, and I'm out of here. Thank you everyone for watching. Until next time, peace. And if you're having a bad day, as always, go read you a comic. You're still having a bad day, go read you another comic. And if you're still having a bad day, go read you a magazine-sized comic, okay? So until you're in bliss of comic bliss, just keep reading, okay? Because it definitely will take anything away, because these stories and art is so awesome. So peace everyone. Hit that like button.